All right, so I got this mini theory that humans and people in general, we're either action orientated or analysis orientated. And I feel like everyone's a mix of both, but people, it's like a spectrum. There's some people who are closer to one side than the other. In life, at the end of the day, it's all about balance. You got to be able to have an ability to analyze situations, but at the same time, when you need to take action, fucking take action. Like you go all in. There's no dilly dallying. You aren't half in, half out. You're fully all in. You're obsessed, and you're just putting the reps in like mad. I feel like people who are like that are the ones who really accelerate their growth, and they just show up every single day, right? And while still having the ability to analyze situations and figure out what the best move is to make. Sorry, that's my alarm going off. Anyway, my main point is this: if you're someone who realize you're either action orientated, like you like to jump in head first in situations and figure it out as you go along, or you're someone who is a bit more analysis based, you like to take a step back, look at the different options, figure out what your tools and materials that you have, figure out, okay, what's the best move for me to make. Number one, be around people who are the opposite of you. I think by being in those environments, low key, you get pushed out to your comfort zone a bit more. But in the long run, because of that, you end up pretty much developing that quote unquote weaker, relatively weaker side of you. And this leads to you just becoming more of a balanced individual in general, which leads to you being more effective and being more able to put the reps in consistently, but at the same time analyze what's going on. And in the long run, create more, output more, just live life better. It's literally like, imagine playing football or something, but you're ambidextrous. You got both your left foot and your right foot. Or you play basketball and you're going offense and defense as well. It's literally being able to do both. And successful people I've found, they've developed, sure, their strengths are like, they develop that shit, it's maxed out, like it's going crazy, but at the same time, their weaknesses or the weak areas, they still put in the work, like, or they found ways to build systems or teams or whatever, where their weaknesses, it's like kind of covered, and it becomes almost someone who doesn't know this individual, they might even mistake their weakness as their strength. For example, someone who's introverted or whatever, right? Technically, introversion doesn't necessarily equal social skills. However, I guess people make the mistake of assuming that. But in general, let's just ignore that shit. For this example, let's say you're someone who's very introverted, very quiet. Maybe as a kid, you just like to read books, be on your own, just chill. You know what I mean? Let's say this individual realizes, okay, I want to start my own business. I can't necessarily just be chilling by myself. If I've got a team, I need to be able to communicate efficiently and effectively. I need to be able to walk into certain rooms and like actually make a good first impression. That shit matters, right? So over time, this person develops that skill of socialization, speaking to people, just feeling comfortable within themselves and being able to like maintain a conversation and understanding how to read a room and all of that, right? Someone who's never met this person before might mistaken this individual who's developed that weak, quote unquote, weaker side of themselves as, oh, this person seems to be an extrovert. They walk into a room, they go the rounds, introduce themselves to people, all of that kind of stuff. But later on, when you actually speak to them, you actually get to know them, then you're like, oh, damn, fair enough, you're actually pretty quiet. Like, you actually enjoy chilling by yourself. Okay, that's interesting. I never would have expected that. That right there is a great example of being able to develop both sides of yourself. So just like in that example, when it comes to being either action orientated or analysis orientated person, you want to be able to flip between the two to the point where people literally mistaking you as the other person, because you're not. I feel like another paradox of successful people is they aren't 50-50, they're 100 and 100, as in they can go all in on one aspect and they can also go all in on another aspect as well. You can have people who take the time to introspect, take the time to really analyze certain situations incredibly deeply, and when you see them in that mode of thinking, you're like, damn, okay, this was a very, very deep thinker. But then they're also able to flip, and you see them in environments where they're literally just taking action. They aren't overthinking the small shit, they just putting the reps in consistently, to the point where if you see them also in that mode, you think, oh, this person just jumps straight in, right? This person just goes with the flow, figures out as they go along. They break things fast, learn things quite quick, they're that kind of vibe. But only in analyzing them over time, you figure out, you get the bigger picture and understand, okay, damn, this person isn't what I assumed them to be. And I'm probably repeating my point now, but examples like that is what you want to strive for in life, where your weaker areas, you bring it up, or at least you try and figure out a team or a system or something that can help cover those areas for you to the point where in life, you know when you've balanced out when people begin to assume things about you and their assumptions are pretty much the opposite of what's actually true. But that's a good sign. It means you've making progress and it means that you're a lot more balanced out. That's basically it.